Hey folks, welcome back to Snowrunner. In this video we're going to have a look at the White Western Star 4964, which is one of my favourite looking trucks in the game, and when I first saw this thing I thought this looks like a mini version of the needle nose Peterbilt 281, which you'll remember was from the film, Steven Spielberg film Duel in the early 70s, and I'm sure there is another Peterbilt of a smaller version with a different number that I'm not quite sure of, but every time when I saw this I thought this looks like a mini needle nose 281, so I thought got to try and get this one. It is a bit tricky to get hold of, but we'll come on to how to get it in a few minutes. Just want to have a quick look around the options. This is kind of what it looks like when you get it, obviously without the chains on. So engine options, you've got a Westline V6, kind of standard engine size, modification size, mid-size, and then this top V6, which is the one you want really. Gearbox, balanced, high range and off-road, and again the off-road, which I think is Pedro Bay. I think you picked this up in Pedro Bay, I'm not quite sure, I'll have to double check that, but I've not got it equipped at the moment, but I've just got the standard on. But ideally, the off-road gearbox is kind of the best option. Suspension, stock or raised. Tyres, I've gone for all chains, I think, on this one. Yeah, purely because I've been running it in Northport, Alaska. So, but it's interesting when you look at the if you look at the non-chained variants, so you've got average, excellent, good for the on-road, off-road and mud, and then average, excellent, good, and then excellent again. So you're just gaining that ice element there with the chain variant. Obviously if you drop down to all terrain you kind of lose some performance there, so I always tend to just go for all chains if you've got it unlocked. Winch, 4 different types of winch: stock, extended, advanced and high power. What I'm not sure of, and it'd be good to know if anybody does know, if you'll leave it down in the comments, if any of these are autonomous. It doesn't suggest so, but extended, advanced and then high power, but it doesn't mention whether any of them are autonomous or not, so I'm assuming not, but if you do know then let me know. Diff lock, engageable and unlocked. Spare wheel, snorkel, wedge cap. I don't like the wedge cap on this. I think it looks too tall, but I do quite like the stock air filter, which is quite nice, so just lift that one on. All-wheel drive, engageable all-wheel drive, and then frame add-ons, usual suspects: crane, flatbed, maintenance. What I didn't know actually, just while we're here, is that this thing, the van body add-on, gives you more repair points than this, which I've been dragging this thing around for days on end, trying to repair things and then running out of repair points and not realising that actually if I'd have took this, you get more options and more repair points. The only downside to this is it's got quite a high centre of gravity, so you've got to watch it. I have rolled this a few times, so it's better, but just be mindful that it has got quite a higher centre of gravity rather than this maintenance frame. Sideboard bed, fuel tank, loading crane, and the saddles, usual suspects on those. Visuals, loads of stuff on here. Front fenders, visors, none of which I particularly bothered with. I like the clean look of this. The only thing I've gone for is I've gone for the round beacon and the external horn, but you can have triple horns, different fog lights, beacons and fog lights, all kinds of stuff. Defender, again I've gone for the stock. I think some of these bumpers are, oh yeah, that one's okay, the heavy duty pipe, but I quite like the clean look of the stock, so I've left that one on. Miscellaneous cabin protector, I just don't like them. Just don't like how they look, so I've never bothered. And plus it does push the back out, as you can see there. You've now got this gap, whereas if you don't put that on, it's more flush to the cab, so just bear that in mind. Exhaust, wedge cap, muzzle, looks like a massive stovepipe. It's quite cool actually, that. Outrolled, I've not unlocked that one yet. I need 18, level 18 for that one. I've just left it at stock for now. And then rims, usual suspects on the rims. Personal choice really, there's no other benefit from these other than personal choice, so there we go. And then colours, there's this one which comes, I think this one came with the season pass, but I just don't like the look of it. It just takes away some of its character, I think. That's the standard one, that's how you find it. And then you've got the usual colours all the way down. Not quite so keen on things like that. I much prefer the kind of darker colours, but this one's okay. The white's actually quite nice, and the grey, I think that's a grey. It would be nice if these colours were actually named, just in terms of the development of the game, just so you had a bit of a clue as to which one you were choosing, rather than your subjective view of what these colours actually mean and look like. Because, you know, for anybody that's colourblind, for example, you might have struggled to differentiate some of these. This is quite nice. I've got the Voron in this, which is like an off yellow, which is quite nice. But I've left it in the stock colours. So that's it. That's kind of how that's what it is. Which I think it's one of the best looking trucks in the game, certainly reminiscent of the Peterbilt 281. That's what it is. Let's go and show you now where to find it. So I'll see you in a second. Hey folks, and welcome back. So you've seen what it looks like, and this is how you get it. And you'll notice I've just passed a pay star there with a service truck, which might give you a bit of a clue as to what I've been up to. So I've already been down here with the pay star, and I've repaired this Western Star. When you pick this mission up, you have to drag it back to the parking garage. You can repair it if you wish. You can fuel it and repair it, or you can try and drag it back as it is. So I've been down, I've repaired it a bit. I think I put some fuel in it, and I've dragged it halfway across the stones from the little bit of a forest where you find it, and I've left it on some stones in the river here, all ready to be collected by my trusty Royal BM. So this is me having a stab at connecting this up. Now I have tried this in a GMC earlier in the game with predictable results. Anybody who's tried it with a GMC, not really up to the job. This is borderline up to the job. I'd say this does a fairly decent job of it, as you'll see here, but a big tip with this is repair it and certainly refuel it. So just to give you a bit of a chance, snuck through this tree line here, because that bloody post there, you hit that thing and you can't get past it. So here we go. So this is the main challenge, getting it up this bloody hill. And it's not so much this that's the problem. As you can see, I think I've got the chains on the Royal, so the Royal's doing an admirable job of bringing it up this hill quite nicely. This isn't the problem. The problem is just here on the left hand side. We've got to get it round this dog leg of a bend. Now I'm sure there are other ways of getting this thing out, but I thought I'd try the traditional way of getting it up here. I've seen people fail at this a few times with various different trucks, so I thought I'd give it a go, just for a laugh, and see if I can actually make it work. And it was all going kind of quite well up to this point. Managed to get the Royal squeezing through these rocks, and we kind of seem to be a bit of an impasse at the moment. As you can see, black wheel back wheel turning frantically but not really making any progress. So did the old disconnect, detach the trailer. Luckily the Western stayed where it was, so detached the Royal, moved forward, and then tried to recouple, and just managed to do it actually. I didn't think that was going to work, but it did. So, but again, struggling a bit, struggling to get it up here. You can hear me pulling the winch now to try and get the distance between the Royal and the Western Star shorter, to give me a bit more of a chance, a bit more leverage. But now you can see it's stuck behind that rock. The bumper's just stuck on that rock, and I thought, typical, that it gets stuck there. So tried to reposition it a bit and try and have another go. But yeah, not the easiest thing in the world this to do. No matter what truck you've got, really, you're going to struggle getting it through here. It's not a great way of getting this thing out. There are other ways of getting it out. You can try and get it up straight up the hill if you've got something powerful, maybe the Tataran or something like that. Get it straight up the hill to the right there before we hit these rocks. But this is certainly the hardest bit to get it through. I mean, once you've got it clear of those rocks, you kind of home and dry really. Once you get it around this corner, it's just getting it around those rocks. But you can see you've all kinds of problems. You've got the fuel tank on the side of the Western. This Royal's now trying to go into the woods for reasons best known to itself. It's just got rid of that tree for us, thankfully. The Royal is quite long as well, so you've got quite a bit of a job on to get this thing to turn around, although it's not as bad as the Voron. I mean, for that thing you do need to pre-order the steering on that one. You have to give it a bit of advance warning, write it a bit of a letter to say that you're going to want it to steer at some point. But the Royal is a lot better in that regard. So I've just disconnected again here. I think better use of the winch would have helped here. I'm a bit of a noob when it comes to using the winch, but I think using the winch to better effect at different winching points would have done a better job. And just as I thought it was safe to start putting the hammer down and getting it out of there, it gets caught under the tree branch of doom, which you'll all be familiar with. And we seem to get stuck here for a few seconds on this dreaded branch. Let's have a bit of reversing just to get a bit of leverage under that branch. It's certainly taking some shifting off that branch, that is for sure. Again, just looking at different winching points here, just to try and get some leverage away from that that branch. And apologies, this is taking a bit longer than expected. I didn't really want to cut the video. I wanted you to see all the pain that I was having with this, and I'd rather keep all the footage in rather than cut bits out. And I'll leave it up to you guys to decide on which bits you want to watch and which bits you don't. But yeah, you can certainly see the journey I'm having here with this thing. So the only thing that's stopping us now is the tree branch. No idea why that branch has such a hold on us, but I managed to get the Royal moved a bit more forward, and then have another attempt at attaching the winch yet again. And finally the tree gives up the ghost in the end and lets us get on our way. So you can see the back wheels really biting into the floor there. trying to get this thing moving. So not the easiest thing in the world to move. It's very much a dead weight. I'm sure I've repaired that, but it doesn't look like it's repaired, and certainly isn't acting as if it's repaired. But maybe it's just the terrain that's caused me a bit of an issue here. Seem to have much bit better look on the muddy area in the flat here. So you can see the Paystar ahead. That's what we used to fuel it and repair it earlier. Just left that there to remind me to do something with it at some point. And then we're on the main road here. So quick photo op. There we go. There's the Royal and Western behind it. And yeah, I've used the Royal for quite a lot of the missions actually, but just started to use the Mighty Voron, which I'll be doing a video on in the near future. So just checking where I need to take it back to. I was pretty sure it was the parking lot, but just wanted to be extra sure. And off we go. This bit's fairly straightforward. We're on the open road now, on the way back to the parking garage, which is just near the garage area in Smithville. Not quite sure what I was doing there, but like I say, once you get it on the tarmac, it's certainly a lot easier to get moving. This muddy area here catches a few people out. Kind of avoid it if you can. You can get stuck there early game, especially if you've got some heavy loads. And off we go, just up the hill and then drop this off. And then once we've dropped it off, I'm just going to show you some footage of this Western Star pulling. Just give you a demonstration of what it can pull. It's fairly capable, and it's fairly capable pulling uphill, but not particularly quick at it. So you've got to kind of be a bit patient. But once you get it in low gear, it can pull some decent weights. I think it is classed as a heavy haulage truck, whereas the Royal's classed as an off-road. So get that thing with some chains on and a good low-end gearbox, and you should be able to pull all kinds of stuff. So this is where we drop it off, and once you get into the box, you get the task completed comes up, and then it's effectively yours. Then you can stick it in your garage, sell it, do whatever you like with it. I think I'll just pull it a bit forward here and then jump in it. But yeah, let's cut to some footage of this thing pulling. And here we go. This is on a mission called Tools Delivery, which I just thought I'd give it a bit of a test. Now I've already got to the area where I need to pick this trailer up and save you the pain of me getting there in the first place. I think it took about 9 minutes to get there. I've got the flat loader on the back, and then I've got this curtain trailer, which is it's a fair weight to be fair. There's some fair weight to this, and as you can see, the terrain's not ideal. Nearly dropped it there, nearly tipped it immediately, which would have been a very short video. Yeah, the curtain trailer nearly followed it as well. But this hill's quite steep. I've got the V6 engine in this one, I've got the top engine in this. I'm not sure about the gearbox, but as you can see, slow and steady wins the race. I mean, we're in first gear. It's getting on with it just about. It never kind of gives up all the way up here. I mean, it never drops out of first. It just keeps digging in and digging in. The other thing I quite like about this is the fuel capacity. So if you are going to haul some heavy loads, the fuel capacity on this one, 300 litres, is fairly adequate, although you will rip through that at a fair rate of knots if you're pulling something up a hill like this for any length of time. I mean, we're on 12 litres per minute at the minute, so you'll soon get through that. But I just wanted to demonstrate how this thing will get on with the job, albeit slowly. This, like I said, this trailer is fairly heavy, so the fact that it didn't give up was quite impressive. I didn't think this video was going to make it, actually, because I thought it might get stuck, and I thought it might roll or tip or just not move. But no, managed to get it this far. These rocks were a bit of a worry, because it started to slip to the left, and I thought, well, if I get into those rocks on the left, then there's no chance I'm going to get this out again. I think if you can keep forward momentum, you're kind of halfway there, really. But I'm sure some of the more heavier loads it would probably struggle with, and you've noticed I've nothing on the back of this in terms of a load. Had to get the winch out here just to give me a bit of a tow up to the left hand side to get a bit of traction. That's the only time it really stalled and stopped. But once it got traction again on the rocks, it was happy days. And this hill is a bugger, to be honest, because it's significantly steep and long, and you can see the middle is all very muddy. So you certainly don't want to be trying it anything less than the Royal. You might get the Paystar up there, depending on how many upgrades you've got on it. I certainly wouldn't fancy it in the GMC, sorry. But yeah, the Paystar might do it with enough upgrades. And there we go. We're at the top, and I'm just going to join the main road now, and I'm just going to cut to another section of this video in a minute, just to show you kind of finishing this mission off. But that's kind of where it ends, really. And like I say, hope you found it an enjoyable watch. It's pretty capable, this truck. It's pretty capable. It doesn't rush, but it does get on with it, and it's fairly relentless. Once you get it in low gear, it will pull pretty much anything. So it's definitely one to have in your back pocket if you're running out of ideas of what trucks to use. I'd definitely give this one a try. That's the Western Star, and you'll find it in Smithville Dam, and it's on a mission called Fix It Upper. So here we go, just pulling onto the main drag here at the top of the map, Smithville, and there she is. So I'll just cut to a bit of footage here, just finishing this mission off, where you've got to take this curtain side trailer into the warehouse at Smithville. It's a fairly long mission because you've got to get there, get it up that hill, get it back, so it can take you a good 10, 15, 20 minutes to do it. So take something fairly competent. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do leave a like and comments and all the usual if you found it useful. I just thought I'd showcase this particular truck. Yeah, very nice truck, very capable, well worth sticking in your garage. And there we go, job done. So on that note, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.